The backside at Remington Park is starting to hum with activity, which means the 2012 meet can't be too far away. January 30th was the first day the trainers were allowed to bring their horses onto the grounds, and they started moving in that very morning. The main racing surface is open, and the first set of schooling races scheduled for February 8th. Remington's American Quarter Horse Meet runs March 2nd through May 28th. The Oklahoma Horse Racing Commission has dropped its requirement for a negative equine pyroplasmosis test. Now, the reason? Very few positives. Owners had spent about $1 million on tests over the last year and a half, testing around 10,000 horses. There were just 7 positive results. To Central Florida and Hialeah Park, where purses have been raised for overnight races effective February 3rd. The increase of $1,000 for each overnight will cover the last 9 days of the current meet. That ends on the 19th. The track runs live racing each Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and offers full card nationwide simulcasting Wednesday through Sunday. Salle hosted trials for the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Winter Championship this past weekend. And here's your fastest qualifier, a familiar name, Nakoni, owned by R.D. Hubbard, trained by Paul Jones, and ridden this night by Ramon Sanchez. He would stop the clock in 19.685 seconds at 400 yards, and here are your 10 fastest times from Sunday night. Brad Lohr and Daniel Reynoso's Senor Toby not only had the second fastest time, but also notched his 7th consecutive victory, all of which were at Los Al. The final is on Sunday, February 19th, and should have a purse around $250,000. Los Al hosted trials for its Grade 1 Winter Derby, too, and here are the top 10 qualifiers among the 3-year-olds. Shane O'Leary's De Niro was running for the first time at Los Alamitos, having raced most recently at Prairie Meadows in Iowa. He finished 3rd and 4th in those 2 races, but has now won 3 of his last 6, and those 3 wins have come at 3 different tracks. The final for this one is on Saturday the 18th. Kool Angel held off even money favorite Riley's Boy on Saturday to capture the Grade 3 KOFX Radio Handicap at Sunland Park. Macias Performance Horse's 4-year-old mare is trained by Paul Jones and was ridden by Esgar Ramirez. She went off as the 3-1 second favorite, and if you recognize the name, it's probably because of her win in December's Grade 2 Sunland Park Winter Derby. Riley's Boy finished 2nd under jockey Joe Ruiz, followed by Build 'em High and rider Vicente Grajeda. Well, the well-informed folks at the Q Racing Journal informed me that stallions are still available in the AQHA and TQHA stallion service auctions. You can find a list of available stallions at each auction's website, and for the first time, AQHA is conducting its auction online. The Bank of America Racing Challenge has posted its tentative regional schedule at AQHARacing.com. Now, I say tentative because some of the dates still say to be announced. There's a single nomination due on the 15th of this month, and that's for the Sam Houston Red Cell Distance Challenge. There's a whole mess of nominations due March 1st, but we'll talk about those in a future newscast. Or just download the schedule and see for yourself. And while you're there, download and print the Maiden Challenge and Bonus Challenge by Markel schedules, I should say. Both those, of course, are going to change throughout the year as races are added to each. That's it for this week's Q Racing News, sponsored by the Bank of America Racing Challenge. From AQHA headquarters in Amarillo, Texas, I'm Matt Darby. See you next time.
Q Racing News, brought to you by the Bank of America Racing Challenge.